Commission for Truth and Reconciliation. I want to express my deepest gratitude to the negotiating delegations and especially their leaders, Minister Hamid Abaluddin and Mr. Malik Mahmoud. I would also like to express my appreciation to the President of the Republic of Indonesia, Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, and Vice President Yusuf Kala for their support for the negotiating effort. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of a new era for Aceh. Much hard work lies ahead. With signing, both parties commit themselves not to undertake any action inconsistent with the letter or spirit of the Memorandum of Understanding. It is of utmost importance that the parties honor the commitments they have made in the agreement. I appeal to both parties and all Acehnese and other Indonesians to give their full support to the Aceh monitoring mission. The monitoring mission will start on 15 September following the completion of appropriate legal arrangements between the government of Indonesia, the European Union and 5 ASEAN contributing countries. From today until the formal start of the AMM, the EU member states and the ASEAN contributing countries will provide an initial monitoring presence, the task of which will be to undertake all the necessary planning and preparations for the AMM. The tasks of the AMM are detailed in the memorandum and include, among other tasks, monitoring of the human rights situation, monitoring of the legislation change process, monitoring the decommissioning of camp armaments, and monitoring the relocation of non-organic police and military troops. Ladies and gentlemen, this process would not have been possible without the generous support of the government of Finland, the European Commission, and I recognize Commissioner Ferrero-Waldner's representative, Mr. Aldo Della Riccia, who sits on the right hand from me. We do not have succeeded in this time yet. I want my countrymen who brought the parties to the negotiation, a privilege for me and my colleagues.
Praise be to Allah, by whose grace we are today in the conflict that has caused so much suffering for the Aceh people. President Atari, Excellencies, Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the people of Aceh, our Wali Negara, Tengku Hasan Dikiro, and all the members of GAM in Aceh and everywhere in the world, I would like to thank the CMI and President Hatisari for their work in helping us come to this point where we now have a peace agreement for Aceh. I would also like to thank the European Union for its support and commitment to this peace process and for agreeing to establish the Aceh monitoring mission, which will oversee the implementation of the agreement. Without the work of these two organizations, this process would not have been possible. I must also thank the people of Aceh for their patience during this difficult period and humbly accept the expression of support and goodwill they have offered to GAM and to the success of the peace process. I would also like to thank the Indonesian delegation, with whom we have been holding these talks for the past 6 months. And also special thanks to Vice President Yusuf Kala and also the President who have been instrumental in this position today. We come to this day at the conclusion of 6 months of talks aimed at achieving a peace agreement for the future of Aceh. But more importantly, we come to this day after almost 30 years of GAM struggle for the liberation of the people of Aceh. We come to this day after almost 3 decades of military violence and repressions against the people of Aceh. The people of Aceh have a long and proud tradition of resisting aggressions from outsiders, and we have a long and proud tradition of justice